Lamia here. Welcome back to the stream. Do apologize for that. This is part 2 of the stream of the day. It froze. My internet connection went out and we had to restart it. So if anybody hopped on from the previous stream onto this one, thank you so much. Glad you were able to rejoin the live stream here. And if you are a new viewer here watching the live stream for the first time of the day, hi, I'm Uniquely Mia, also known as Mia. I show you what my life is like. All opinion, people, and ideas are welcome as long as we communicate to each other in a kind and respectful way. Welcome, everybody. Sorry about that. Internet connection went out. Hopefully, I didn't miss too much of your questions, but if you hopped on from the other stream and you want to react to your question, feel free to post it here. I'm unable to see the questions from the previous live stream. It takes a while for the live chat to load up on YouTube for me to see them, but welcome, everybody. How did your day go today? Today, had an okay day. It was a school day, reading textbook chapter. My professor assigned the reading. I have to read page 1 to page 100. Luckily, he gave us 2 weeks, but like page 1 to page 100, that's a lot of reading. So far, I've gotten to page 40. No, I'm high. I'm estimated too high. I got to page 35, I think, today with that reading for that course. And then we working on a group project, submitted an assignment today. Tomorrow, I'm going to continue on with the reading, and then I'm just going to work on some essays tomorrow. So, yeah, that's it. Hey, D-Support. D-Support said, if they had to live under one of their rules, okay, who would you choose? Okay, so if I had to live under one of their rules, who would I choose? Zeus, the god of thunder, or King Solomon, the wisest king? I don't know. I did not... Okay. Queen Sheba was black, alright? So I guess King Solomon, he didn't have any biases towards people who represented to look African, okay? So I know if I go there, based on that information, the hope is I wouldn't face any segregation or anything like that. I don't really know much about the Greeks. Greek mythology, there's not much diversity in Greek mythology, to be honest. So I'll go with King Solomon. I guess I'll live under, if I had to choose between Zeus and King Solomon, I'll go and choose to live under King Solomon rule. I want to be a high-standing member of society, though. So would be. Don't make me a peasant. Let me make sure that I'm like gonna be a high member. And we'll be good. So yeah, that's how I would see it. What about you, D-Support, everyone else in the live stream? Let me know what you think. But welcome, everyone. This is part 2 of the previous live stream. If you were able to onto this stream from the previous one, thank you for that. Do apologize for the technical difficulties. Yeah, the internet at my school, guys, it's very iffy. Paying a lot for, well, I'm not paying for the internet, but I'm paying for housing, and it never works consistently, but hopefully the stream is going to be good. But I'm Uniquely Mia, also known as Mia. I show you what my life is like. All opinion, people, and ideas are welcome as long as we communicate to each other in a kind, respectful way. So feel free to let me know, how's your day going? Did you guys eat anything? If you have any comments, questions, or concern, please feel free to ask me. I promise you I'm nice. I answer your questions, and you guys lead a discussion. D-Support said, was Solomon's wisdom enough to justify having 700 wives? Oh, snap. And 300 concubines. Oh, my God. I did not know it was that much. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1,000. That is so crazy. Man, did he repopulate the earth? Like, is everybody related to King Solomon? What in the world? 1,000 people? He was just greedy, man. That's crazy. 1,000? Wow. I did not know he had that many. My mom just told me 400. More than 400. That's a lot of people. Well, hey, he was rich enough, okay? If you're rich enough, you do you, man. But, okay. Was Solomon's wisdom enough to justify having 700 wives? Wow. And 300 concubines? Or did he fall for like Zeus to desire? Well, with the 300 concubines, he definitely felt like he was definitely like Zeus with the desire, because like concubines, how was that a political benefit? Isn't concubines like mistresses when you don't like your wife? So he already had the 700 wives and he has to get 300 concubines. So he was a little greedy with that one, with the concubines. But like, I don't know if he was justified. I don't know these people. I wasn't alive during that period of time. So In my mindset, I would have understood if Solomon had 365 wives, all right? I would have understood that. Because at least you can say, if we're going off of the modern calendar, assuming they used our modern calendar back then, which they probably didn't, he could have at least met one wife every day, all right? If he had 365 wives. But, like, 1,000? Really? The way I'm thinking about this, all the females who lived in Solomon's city was his wives. That's all I could think about. If you went to Jerusalem back then, all the females you see, they had to be his wives or concubine, because there's no way 1,000. But he's in the, like I said, Solomon is in the same boat of Zeus in my head. He's in the same exact boat as Zeus, but like just what they represent and like how people are portraying them in the mystical powers. That's what I see. Solomon's power was wisdom, and he was a king. Zeus's power was that he actually had some form of powers in magic. That's what I see. Hey, what's going on, British? So confused. What's going on, British, is that I'm uniquely Mia, also known as Mia, and you guys are leading the discussion. So if you have a question, comment, or concern, feel free to ask. This is part 2 of the previous live stream. DH Support was able to hop on from the previous stream, and they're continuing the conversation about Greek mythology, ask me some questions like that. So if you guys want to hop on, or if you want to start a new conversation, feel free to type an answer, and I'll answer it, or a question, I'll answer it. Yes, Drake, we're always having technical difficulties because my school is not learning from their mistakes. They're really not. Because I'm like, you should have fixed it by now, but alas, they did not. Hey, that girl, how are you doing today? You're so cute as well. Hey, how are you doing? Not Aranjana, glad you could be here. Tips for dandruff, wash your hair. Hey, Amid, how are you doing? One for each day and sub. No, exactly. That's what Solomon did. He had one for each day, and then he needed extra. So, but I will say, I said it in the past, I will say it, if you were a female during that era and your parents wanted to force marry you off to somebody for money, and you didn't really like your husband, or you didn't care to like your husband, King Solomon was a good deal for those females, alright? So I don't judge your females in any way. They got a good end of the bargain. If Solomon had more than 1,000 females that he actually liked or married or had concubines, those females did not see him every day. Like once every 2 years, and they had like access to unlimited riches and like comfortable lifestyle. Because remember, in those eras, it was not a positive period for females. Even though some females may have been treated like viewed equally because of their high status, it wasn't a positive time for females. All right, maybe in certain cultures or civilizations where females were like the ruling monarchs, it was good for them, or if you were born of high birth, it was good for you in ancient societies. But the way I see it, 2025, if your parents are not marry you off to the wealthiest person, something like that, I mean, this is the best era for a female to be in, because you have the autonomy to do what you want to do and not answer to the patriarchy. We do have the patriarchy, but you guys understand what I mean. If you are from a Western culture, but King Solomon era, even though they were from like an ancient era, so I don't know what the ancient era was like. But I'm sure if modern society is a patriarchy, the ancient era with King Solomon was a patriarchy too. So that was the best bet for a female. So yeah. Hey Sammy, how are you doing? Hey James. Hey Chanley, glad you could be here. You're gorgeous as well. Thank you so much. Hey, how you doing? Hey David. What's my content about? I have fashion videos, Udemy, technology videos, travel videos, live streams, and a lot more. So yeah, I take video requests. So if there's any type of content you guys want to see from me, if I'm able and comfortable to make it, I'll be more than happy to do that for y'all. And on this channel, you're welcome for your positivity and uniqueness. So do consider liking the video, subscribing, and joining the community. What are we saying? Moose said, what 3 letters change a girl into a woman? Age? As you age and go through, I guess. Yeah. What are we saying? Hey Luna. D Support said, who used their power more responsibly? Okay, Zeus or Solomon? I guess Solomon. Yeah, Solomon, because like I guess when he had to make like very important decisions, he went to the temple, he prayed to God, so I guess God told him what to do, and he used his power, his connection with God all the time. But like those unethical stories aren't known to us. But like the stories that are known, in comparison to Zeus, 9 times out of 10, Solomon did engage in like positive, mostly ethical behavior. Yeah, I mean, he spared his brother's life when his brother tried to out him, and his brother came back, and Solomon was like, okay, bet you came back. I'm not sparing your life no more. So that was good. So, yeah. Hey, Ahmed. Do you agree, Raider? Zeus is not a good character. We already discussed. Zeus is not ethically good, okay? He's not ethically good. But, like, in comparison. Hey, Supreme. Okay, Supreme said, okay. Thank you so much. Glad you feel comfortable, Supreme, to tell us that, what you just did, all right? Hey, Level Up, glad you could be here. Hey, Buddha, glad you could be here. With that hair bun, she stands 6 feet tall. I've never actually tried to measure my height with this, but you just gave me an idea. I remember so distinctly when I was younger, my mom took me to the Kennedy, like, Space Center in Florida, and I remember it. I was going on this ride with my sister, and I did not know if I would be tall enough to go on the ride, but my mom, she tied my hair up into a bun, and it was my bun that gave me the height to go on the ride. That was a safety hazard. That employee should have never let me go on that ride. That was terrible. That was a safety hazard, because the bun is going to save my life. It was based on my height. But I was happy in the moment, because the bun that my mom tied my hair up, similar to this, it let me reach the height. But, like, bad employee, disappointed in you. Like, that was a safety hazard, dude. He should have never let me go. Anyway, Fishu said, yo, I'm on a scavenger hunt right now. Okay, nice. You need to get 5 people to do a push. Oh, wow, I can't do 20 push-ups. I could have done 4 for you, or 3. But yeah, I can't do that. I'm at 2 out of 5 right now. You totally don't have to do them. I'm just asking. Wish I could, but I cannot do 20 push-ups. Hey, ACD, glad you could be here. You're pretty as well. Hey, MH, glad you could be here. How's your day going, MH Harris? All right, thank you, James, for answering the question that from the previous stream. Okay, James said the high yield savings account with American Express. Okay, the account is very good. Okay, because it has a set rate on returns. Okay, preferably 5% and higher. Okay, it is much more than a traditional bank. Okay, is the perfect place to park your money. Okay, grow interest. All right. Thank you. Write it down. I'll tell my mom if she likes the idea and it's feasible. We'll definitely do that, James. I'll tell my mom about it. That the one that gives you like lounge access if you get their account. Savings account. All right. I'm on TikTok a lot, guys. I'm on the travel part of TikTok, and people's always talking about the different cards they have, and now they get a whole bunch of perks with it. Ooh. Hey, how are you doing, Disco? Glad you could be here. Official said, all right, have a great day. Have a great day as well, Official. Really, really appreciate your support for being here. I do hope that you liked the video. I hope to see you in the next live stream or the comment section at my Fling Traditional YouTube video or YouTube Shorts. James said, how's Queen Mother doing? She's doing good. I see the emoji that you put, James. Okay, that's funny. My mom is doing good, James. We thought you would have seen my mom live stream. She went out the other day into a wedding, and she did like a Uniquely Mia takeover. And I know that you do love seeing my mom on the live stream, so I thought you'd have been on the stream for the Uniquely Mom takeover, but I think you were MIA. But some of the videos are recorded, James, so if you want to go back and watch those live streams, you can definitely do that. Hey, Gary, how are you doing today? Stu's the man, Gary said. Hey, glad you could be here. Yes, I am a chess fan. Yeah. Have I ever... I can win a chess game against my... Don't challenge me to a chess game, Mom, please. But I could win a chess game against my mom, I feel like. The thing about it, in my family, when the queen's game chess obsession, when I say all of us, it was just they were already chess people, so they played. But the Queen's Gambit came out, my mom was the best at chess, and she was like, she forced you to show her how to play chess. And I was home, so by default, I was just watching them play chess. And then, like, after that went away, like, literally after like 2 weeks, my mom was like, I'm not doing this no more. I don't want to learn how to play chess no more. MH said you have a subscriber from India. Thank you so much, MH, for joining the Uniquely Mia community. I do hope that you enjoy the content that you see from me. Buddha said, oh, Uncle Gary, I was missing you. Good to see you. Hey, Express. Beautiful, amazing woman. Thank you so much for your kind words. D-Support said, did Buddha give up too much when he left his royal life? Okay, Buddha, like Siddhartha, okay. When he left his royal life, or did he gain everything by letting it go? Some people, well, I guess Buddha himself and the practitioners of Buddha, also known as Siddhartha, they would say he gained everything because he gained enlightenment. That's what essentially it was. So when he left his, because remember, guys, Buddha, Siddhartha, he was a prince, all right, according to the movie that I saw. I saw a movie about it. It said it was based on a real story, okay, so I believed it. But according to the movie, Siddhartha, Buddha was a prince, and he was a prince who was coddled. His dad didn't want him to know suffering, so he was always in a nice climate. Anytime he was sick, he rarely got sick, but if he was sick, he was healed in like a day or something. He had the access to the best foods, the best fashion, everything, right? So what happened was one day Buddha actually saw somebody die, and he was like, what is happening to them? He saw people crying, he saw people mourning, he didn't understand. Now when they taught him like ran away from home. Yeah, he was one to super give up all that to live off of the land and to teach people and to meditate, essentially, according to Buddha, what the movie that I saw. So based on that, people would say Buddha gained a lot. He didn't give up too much, according to Buddha and his followers. Most likely, they would probably say he didn't give up too much. He just gave up enough to gain his like eternal peace or whatever like that. So hopefully I answer your question, D support. Hey V, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Hey Noah, Muhammad said, if I donate $500, could you put a tattoo on your head saying P. Diddy? No. Nope. It's gonna cost a lot more money than that. Nope. Not even 1,000. Because I'm gonna need enough money to like take the tattoo off. There's no stipulation on how long it has to stay on, right? And I have to need enough money for like my emotional suffering or pain that I'm gonna go through. So it's gonna be a few millions most likely to do that, and the triple digits, millions, yeah. Muhammad said, yeah. D support said, if Buddha were alive today, would he be an influencer, monk, or completely offline? He would be, what would he be? I would want to say he would be completely offline, but like based on the movie, they portrayed Buddha as somebody who likes being known a little bit, but the only reason a little bit. So he would probably be, I don't know, he'd probably be a monk who would probably hire somebody to follow him around and like show the way of Buddha to people on social media, I feel like, a little bit. James said, Mia, do I stand the chance with Queen Mother? Be honest. Stand the chance how? With what? In what context? James. You like, well, yeah, what situation are you referring to? In what context? Stand a chance how? And Muhammad said, you know what my wage is, 300,000. Shout out to you, Muhammad. Very nice. What job you have? Evan said at James, OMG, you miss me as mom looking like $1 million. Hey Evan, glad you can be here. Hey S, glad you can be here. Oh, you're offering me $1,800 in a pack of banana chips to tattoo P. Diddy on my head. Nah. Wrong chat for that. Wrong chat face. Evan said, James, she was wearing a lovely deal dress. Jazz, please go see me in shorts. Oh, yeah, wait, did I do a shorts video? Ow, snap, that hurt, dude. I just scratched myself. Ow. Jackson said Jesus would be a Twitch streamer. No, I saw a movie, though. I did see a movie. Jesus would be in the most unlikely way. Jesus would be a minority. Why would Jesus be a minority? Because nobody's going to believe Jesus is going to come as a minority. Like, the people who go, like, obviously there are minorities who go hardcore for religion, but the people who go hardcore with saying Jesus is coming again and stuff, 9 times out of 10 that you see on social media and saying Jesus will believe Jesus is going to come this, they're Caucasian. So Jesus would be a minority, I feel like, to see if those people would actually believe that he came again. And there's a TV show on Netflix about that. It's not about Jesus, but there's a TV show on Netflix. It's a great show. You should watch it. I don't know the name of it though, but you should watch it if you find it based on the description I'm gonna give. It's on Netflix, and the TV show essentially shows that a prophet. The prophet's not necessarily Jesus, but it's a prophet that came back to prophet who came from God, you can say, or who speaks to God, but that person's from the Middle East, and that person comes to America and is spreading, quote unquote, a word of God, but nobody believes him, especially the leadership. Nobody believes him because he doesn't represent what like it looks like he would come as. So yeah, but then again, the guys later, but then and then it's a lot of like, and it's so interesting too because in the show, people keep on saying that he's a con artist, that he just has inside information, but at the same time he's disproven their claims, but he's also proven their claims. So it's a very interesting show because even myself, when I was watching it, I'm like, you're a con artist, but then at the same time, the actor would do something in the show, and I'm like, okay. I mean, it's fiction to show, but I'm like, okay, that's really interesting. So that's another thing. If a prophet was to come, if Jesus was reincarnated and Jesus was to come back on earth, there would be a select few of people who believe him, and people who do believe him, I don't think it would gain enough attention for people to actually believe, all right? Because we ask too many questions. There's nothing wrong with asking a lot of questions, but we ask too many questions in modern society, okay? And it's good to ask questions. But when you're an investigator and when we don't believe stuff so easily, which is great, but at the same time, we want God to come wave their hand and be like, ooh, magical powers, you're God. That's not gonna happen, I don't think. He's gonna come, he's gonna say, this is me, maybe show you 2 premonitions, that's it. If you don't believe him, he's gonna disappear, and everybody's gonna label that individual as a con artist and a whole bunch of stuff. So I already believe he was reincarnated, but there's some religions who believe he wasn't reincarnated. So for those religions, who knows if they'll believe him or not. Then again, we don't want him to come, because if Jesus were to come back down to earth, something bad is really happening. That means humans are not acting how he wants us to act, how God wants us to act. So not good at all. James said, please don't say I missed it. But the live stream is recorded, James, so you can always go back and watch it. My mom did her streams on Saturday, so you can always check that out. Evan said that James, you missed a stream with Mia's mom at the wedding. She looked like fire. Do go check it out. Hey, S. Dot, how are you doing today? She's a strong woman. Thank you so much for your kind words. Hey, Ramid, how are you? Ramon, glad you could be here. Buddha said, hey, strong girl. Excuse me, the question was, would you jump over in deep water for save your sinking subscriber? Would that depend on the person to person? If you were to have to save one, Katz or Evan? I would throw you guys the round thingy or a life jacket. Hey, AK, how are you doing? Nice hair. Thank you. Hey, Liam. James said, what happened to King of the Weather? He's my little bro. King of the Weather. If you're out there, shout out to you. Maybe. Hey, Liam. Evan said, what's wrong with James when it comes time to talk to Queen Mother? Bro, is it? All the way invested. Tell mama to stay with Stu. Hey, Liam. Thank you so much for subscribing, Liam. Welcome to the Uniquely Mia community. All opinion, people, and ideas are welcome on the channel, as long as we communicate to each other in a kind, respectful way. I just said all opinion, people, and ideas are welcome. However, I'm going to contradict myself. Are you saying you're racist? I mean, racists aren't welcome, because that's a choice. You're choosing to discriminate. I mean, if you are somebody who's racist, but like you want to learn from people and you're going to communicate effectively, you can stick around. But like if you're a racist, that's a choice. Find your way to a different live stream, please. But welcome to the live stream, everyone. D Support said, was Buddha's path about escaping suffering or understanding it? I think understanding it. Because if he wanted to escape suffering, he could have just stayed at his castle with his riches and his fashion. He could have stayed at his castle if he wanted to escape. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't have escaped it, but you wouldn't have been surrounded by it. So, yeah. Hey, cats. Welcome. Okay, you're out of work now, so now you're able to get home and just chillax, cats. So, yeah, when you get home, eat some dinner and then chillax, and I do hope that you feel better very, very soon. Hey, Nevaeh, how are you doing? Hey, Nevaeh, welcome. D Support said, was Jesus a rebel, a teacher, or a savior? Or all three? All three, for sure. He was all three. Because Jesus was a rebel because, I'm assuming when Jesus came to earth, nobody necessarily mostly believed the word of God, because there was a different religion that was prominent in Rome at that time, right? When Jesus came. So, wait. Jesus went to... Wait. He went to Rome? Where did he come? Where did he go? Like, where was he born? I'm thinking about his race. If he was in Rome, that's kind of weird. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he was all three, because I'm assuming wherever he was born, the Romans were in power during that time, wherever he was born, right? He was a rebel, because he essentially promoted messages, and he went against the Romans. Okay. So Jesus was born in Jerusalem. All right, but he went to Egypt. All right. Okay, guys. So yeah, but the Romans were there because he went against Rome, essentially, the Roman religion. Nobody necessarily believed him. So he was a rebel. He started a cult. That's what Jesus did. Jesus started a cult. You know what a cult is? A cult is like, the academic definition of a cult is like a new religious belief emerging that the vast majority of people do not believe in, and that goes against the religion that is in power during that time period. So the idea of monotheism, that the belief in one God, it wasn't a thing when Jesus was like now spreading his word. So he was a rebel, but at the same time he was a teacher, because he taught people the way of God. He taught people about religion. So he was a teacher as well. And the savior, some people do consider him to be a savior, for sure. Some people can say that, yeah. I mean, I would assume he's a savior, because I feel like, why did he come to Earth? So God doesn't destroy humans again. So I guess he saved us in that way. I mean, like, the humans are destroying themselves, but like, yeah. So yeah. Hey, Liam. Evan said cats. I'm plugging my phone. So I bought it a microphone. My phone is at 10%. Now we're gonna hear the difference in audio. Evan said, cats, I finally found an app that shows sister episodes all day. Very nice. Hey, Nevaeh. Hey, Maya. Glad you could be here. James said, Evan, I have nothing but respect for Mia. I'm not being serious with Queen Mother. I just like making everyone laugh and smile. If I ever offended Mother, I'll meet it. So yeah, so far, James, don't worry about that. If you ever offend my mom on a live stream, or if you ever offend anybody, myself or anybody else on the stream, we'll be sure to let you know. But as long as like Uniquely Mia Queen Mother hasn't let you know that you're making us uncomfortable or that you offended us, you're all good. My mom loves compliments, so continue to give her compliments when you see her on the stream, if she does her own live stream. She eats up the compliments, guys. So you make her happy with the compliments, so you're all good. All right. Hey, Daniel, how are you doing? Hey, AA said, thinking about going vegan for ethical reasons. Have you considered it? Yeah, I feel like when I graduate, I'm definitely going vegan for like a week. I want to see if I can survive. I want to be vegetarian for a week, pescatarian for a week, vegan for a week. Because I might eat a lot of chicken. And I could do it now, but then I won't have anything to eat, really. When I go home, I feel like it's going to be more easier. My mom can cook my food. Or there's just more places around me where I could get food that I can either buy it or like do it. So don't worry, I'm gonna do that one day. Once again, video ideas for next year. Day in my life, week in my life as vegan for Uniquely Mia. So for real. And it's, yeah, if you're doing it for ethical reasons, 100% do it. Because sometimes I'm eating chicken, I'm like, ew, chicken egg, I don't want this anymore. So nothing wrong with that. And there are generally some places you'll travel to, that's all, like, they may not have the food you're used to eating. And if you want to travel and immerse yourself in a culture, you don't want to be at McDonald's every day when you're on vacation. So to immerse yourself in a culture sometimes, you'll just have to eat the vegetarian food that they have, the vegan food that they have, things like that. Thank you. Glad you like my glasses. No, I do not have diabetes. But thank you, long stem. Glad you like my glasses. Hey, Daniel, I'm doing good. How are you doing today, Daniel? Okay, you're from Nigeria. Very nice. I'm from the United States. My studying is going good, James. Yeah, we're definitely getting to the point of the semester where the reading's starting to pick up. I'm working on essays, group projects. Yeah. My professor assigned a reading for this week. I have 3 pages, 1 to 100. Luckily, he gave 2 weeks to read it, but 1 to 100. So I got to page, I think, 35 today. I'm going to continue on with that tomorrow. And then I'm also working on some essays tomorrow. So class and studying are going good, James. Thank you so much for asking. Buddha said, Did you try remedy I tell you to do? Try it once, it will help. Thank you so much for your kind words, Daniel. Bernard said, you ever ratted before? What does that mean? You mean like snitched on somebody? Evan said, I just want you to see her live stream, what you miss, and being weird, and joke about liking someone isn't respectful to females, I'm afraid. I mean, it's all about context. My mom doesn't find it disrespectful, Evan. Daniel said, I have liked and subscribed. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, Daniel. Welcome to the Uniquely Me community. I do hope you enjoy what you see. D Support said, if Jesus came back today, would the world recognize him or would they reject him? Like I said, I think they will reject him because they want to come with because too many people say a whole bunch of random stuff today in modern society. That's another bad too. Like people just lie for no reason sometimes, or it's not even lying. Some people I feel like they genuinely suffer from mental health conditions where they think they're this prophet. Then again, are they really suffering from a mental health condition? Are they really a prophet who came, but just because nobody's believing them and because they're acting radically, they could be a prophet, but just because their behavior and what they're saying is quote unquote blasphemy and they're not the perception of how a prophet would come, we could just be putting labels on these people. Okay, there are some people who have mental health conditions who really need the help, but like there are some people I'm sure who say they're a prophet or who say they're this, but they act or they're not exemplifying the behavior that a quote unquote prophet would exemplify. So yeah, nobody would recognize him in my opinion. I think like some people would recognize him, but like the vast majority would definitely him. So it would never meet mainstream society to say this is Jesus who came back to earth. Yeah. Hey Tony, choose from a character for me to make a coloring of a book. Pluto, Sun, Uranus, or Saturn. Let's go with Pluto. Isn't that like the smallest planet? And then imagine this too, because like people are in modern society, people are so strong to believe what they believe. So let's say Jesus was to come back, right? And go to like a group of people who are extremely racial and believe in racial biases and say what you are saying is wrong. You should not discriminate against people who look different than you, who that's wrong. What you're saying is not right. Don't discriminate. Don't try to dictate people's lives. You have no authority to hurt a person because of the way they look like. Those people in that specific group, they're not going to believe that's Jesus or a prophet. They're going to be like, you don't represent what I believe in. So you're not Jesus for me. So you see, nobody's going to believe him, especially those extreme people who say racist stuff. Those really extreme people, they're not going to believe when Jesus comes back or if he comes back because Jesus is not going to represent discrimination. And they want a God that represents discrimination, and that's not going to happen. So you see, nobody's going to believe. Hey, Tony. Tony said, choose a character for me to make. Okay, read that. Daniel said, I'm from Nigeria. I'm from the United States. Very cool, very cool. What's it like in Nigeria? Do you like it, Daniel? Tony said, okay, answer that. Kat said, don't do raw vegan. Me, it's horrible. Like eating raw food, yeah. Like salads, I could do that. I don't like salad though, but like I've seen them on social media. Like people, they'll do the raw vegan and they'll only eat salads. They'll only eat fruits. And I'm like, where's your food? Cook some food. But that's what I'm saying. It'll just be interesting to try and see what do they eat when the food is cooked. So that's what I mean. Hey, Star. Hey, Eric. How are you doing? Glad you like my nails and my rings. Glad you could be here, Eric. How's your day going? Hey, Rohan. Buddha said, oh, girl with a cute mustache, I can hypnotize you. Does that scare you? No, it doesn't scare me because you can only hypnotize me if I let you hypnotize me. And why should it scare me though? I mean, if somebody had the power to hypnotize me, what are you gonna do to me when I'm hypnotized? So yeah, that's the scary part. Like, why are you asking that question? That's gonna, yeah. Okay. Hey, Daniel. I'm from the United States. Noah said, so what country are you from? I'm from the United States. What's my address? Yeah, I'm not answering that question, Jeremy. Guys, going through Uniquely Mia safety guidelines again. Let's not share our address, our full government name, first name, middle name, last name on the live stream. Let's not share our phone numbers. Don't share your email address if you're not comfortable doing so. Just as safety guidelines, you don't even have to share your age. So yeah. What are we saying? Yup, a cat said you're not getting it, Jeremy. Um, well, Jeremy, is that a threat? We don't threaten people on the channel. I will call the authorities as soon as possible. The authorities can figure out who you are. There's IP addresses, and I don't know if that's your full name. Is that your first name and last name, Jeremy? Don't ask people that question. Thank you so much, Sonar. You're beautiful as well. D Sports and Y, Jeremy. Thank you. You like my hair, Leia? Jeremy said they asked the questions around here, D Support. Hey, Aya, how are you doing today? You will come across multiple self-proclaimed prophets if you scroll for YouTube for just 2 minutes. And that's the thing, too. People will say they're self-proclaimed prophets, but, like, the information that they're spreading is just blatantly bad. So you know what, guys? More of the story, okay? More story of this discussion. Don't look for an exemplar. Don't look for a personification of God or of Jesus in one person on earth, all right? If you want to find God or Jesus on earth, look within yourself, okay? Because what is making you speak? What is making you breathe? It is the spirit. Yes, it's your lungs, but at the same time, what is making that work? It's Jesus, okay? The spirit of God, whatever you believe in, look inside yourself if you want to find God. Go in your closet, go in your room and pray. And if you really want to find God, just wait until you're no longer on the earth, and then you could probably physically see them. So because of self-proclaimed prophets that exist in society and a whole bunch of different things, don't go to one person who says they're Jesus and believe them. Because you're believing in a human. Okay? You're believing in a human. Because we gotta remember this. Even when Jesus came to earth, he himself, he was a human. I'm sure he let some of his own personal bias get in his message. I can say that. I'm sure he did that too. Because humans have free choice, and humans are tainted, you can say, with earthly opinions and different things that earth throws at them, okay? Once you leave heaven, you're no longer pure 100%. No, you're not. Jesus could have had kids. I don't know if he had kids, he could have. I don't know. So, you don't know, guys. Hey, Cats, BRB, all right. D Support said, why do you want her address? Hey, Mr. Morrow, glad you could be here. D Support said, was Jesus more focused on religion or on relationship? Well, I feel like at its core, it could have been relationships for sure. Because if you read the Bible and if you watch some of the Bible movies or hear some of the Bible stories, at its core, it kind of connects back to relationships between people. So, like, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not commit adultery, treat thy friend or treat thy neighbor as thy family member or thy friend or whatever. It's all about relationships in a way. So I feel like even though we put the label of religion on it, the religion is relationships, and the religion is positive relationships, I feel like. So yeah. Hey, Benjamin. I don't have a QR code, Benjamin. What do you want a QR code for? Evan's like, Jeremy, be quiet. Evan's like, I bully everyone around here. Evan's like, Jeremy think he's John Wick. Oh, no. No, we don't want John Wick, okay? John Wick can stay a fictional character. John Wick is a psychopath. John Wick in the movie's great. John Wick in real life, nah, John Wick is not cool. He's a serial killer. He be going around hurting a bunch of people. Ew. It's hot. Ew. This is nasty. I was walking back from my room today after I got my food from campus. My mom food. I only have one bowl of her food left. I needed something sweet so I don't pass out while I was walking back to my room. And it got hot. Buddha said, he said what I was going to say. Search God in yourself. Amazing. Okay, nice. Hey, J.O. Glad you could be here. I would say focus on God such love. Yeah, and I do agree with that. Definitely. If you want to find personification of God, oh, so you're saying you think God represented God in love? Yeah, I do agree with that too. JL. And like God and love, once again, love found within, I guess, as long as you love yourself and if you have positive relation with your friends, your family members, etc. And God, once again, look internally and to yourself and stuff like that. D Support said, do you think Jesus would be welcome in most churches today, or would he be seen as too radical? Jesus would not like churches. Jesus would not like modern day churches at all. Why would Jesus not like modern day churches at all? Because Jesus doesn't believe in based on the Bible and the stories my mom told me, Jesus doesn't necessarily believe in creating images to represent God or himself. And anytime you go in a church, all churches went against that message of God. They created images to represent God. They're essentially worshiping an idol. Why? There's a cross. What is the cross? The cross is an idol. Yes, it's an idol. It's something that you're looking at and you're praying to. That's an idol. God doesn't like idols. What is it? That image of Jesus on the cross, that's an idol. God doesn't like idols. So Jesus would not like churches. He would not like modern day churches. Okay? So he would definitely be seen as radical, I think, and he would not be welcome in most churches, in my opinion. At all. He would not be welcome in most churches at all. Unless the church is like there, it's just a building and people just go sit down and pray and it's empty inside, then he would probably like that church. For like fancy churches, I cannot go to the Vatican now. Snap. They're gonna lock me in the Vatican. I'm comfortable speaking about what I'm speaking about, but like I do know people who are extremely religious, they may come at me and be like, how are you saying this and you believe in God? How are you saying this and you believe in God? Because I believe in a higher power than myself, and I have comfort in knowing that God created me. God must have known who I would have become, and God would have known that I would be engaging in these discussions and interpreting the Bible the way that I interpret it. So if God's going to create me, that means God is going to love uniquely me and me being authentically me. However, with that, and I'm saying this stuff on social media, I don't think anyone from the Vatican is going to see this, but you never know. So when I go to Italy, I'm not going to the Vatican because the Vatican is like its own government. And the Vatican might think I'm talking blasphemy over just stuff. So they're going to lock me in there. So Uniquely Mia cannot go in the Vatican and get videos for y'all to send my mom or something. But yeah. Okay, JL, you agree with me. Nice. D Support said, which is harder to master? Bonjour, bonjour. What's it like in France today? Which is harder to master? Wisdom like Solomon, self-control like Buddha, compassion like Jesus, or power? And also, guys, everything that I'm saying is just my opinions. If you don't agree with it, totally understand. You are still more than welcome on the Uniquely Mia channel. You guys are just asking me some questions, so I'm answering with my honest opinions of it. If you don't like what I'm saying, if you disagree with what I'm saying, it's okay. We don't have to agree with everything on the Uniquely Mia channel. Instead, that is encouraged by me, because by hearing people differing opinions, by disagreeing with people and explaining why you disagree, that is how you learn, that's how you acquire new skills, and that's how changes are made in society, all right? All right, D Support said, or asked, which is hardest master? Wisdom like Solomon, okay. Self-control like Buddha, compassion like Jesus, or power like Zeus? Compassion like Solomon, like Jesus, definitely. Compassion like Jesus for me, in my opinion. That is definitely hard to master. Because Jesus, somebody's going to sin on... Didn't that guy, what's his name, Judas or whatever, Judah? He turned Jesus in, and didn't Jesus forgive him? Jesus forgave his enemy. Like his enemy that caused his... Jesus forgave his enemy. I'm not forgiving my enemy. Like nobody ever tried that on me, but like there are people in my life who have quote unquote betrayed me. I'm forgiving you. Okay, bye. I'm never talking to you again if it's my choice. So, yeah, everybody can, compassion is very hard to have. You can have compassion for, like, a select few of people that you like, but, like, for the vast majority to have compassion like Jesus, nope. Not everybody has that. Nope. Like, that guy somebody would betray Jesus, I feel like. And then Jesus is going to forgive that person, and you invited back to my dinner table. That's what Jesus is going to do. That person's going to betray them. He's going to forgive them, and you were invited back to my dinner table. I'm not doing that. And I can confidently say, I feel like maybe 97% of you guys watching, you won't do that either. There's going to be some outliers. There are going to be some people outliers like that who's going to forgive thy enemy and invite them back to their dinner table, but not everybody, especially humans. Hey, Edward. How are you doing today? Bonsoir. Is that hi? No, it's good evening, right? Bonsoir? Is that good evening? I know bonjour's hi. What's bonsoir? JL said he was forgiven, but he had too much guilt. Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah. He took himself out. Okay, so he committed the ultimate sin again. All right. So he sinned against God, and he sinned against himself. He sinned against himself again. Okay. Thank you for the clarification, Jo. Wow, that sucks. Okay. Hey, how are you doing? How do I keep my hair so good? I just wrap it down and I tie like a bandana around it. I promise you it looks a little deceiving. It's getting a little messy, but I tie it down with like a bandana, and 9 times out of 10 this part is braided. So yeah, I don't go to sleep like this. D Support said, would you rather have Solomon's wisdom, Buddha's peace, or Jesus' love, and why? Great question. Would I rather have Solomon's wisdom, Buddha's peace, or Jesus' love? I'm not gonna choose Jesus' love because I feel like I love people who love me, and I'm supportive of people who support me, and I'm supportive of strangers too, because my supporters, you guys who subscribe to me, I'm supportive of you, okay? I'm supportive of you, all right? If somebody betrays me or if somebody's an enemy against me, yes, even though God says I should love them, you're an enemy against me. You do not have my best interest in heart. So in my human bias, I guess, I don't want Jesus' love. I want Jesus' love, but I want Jesus to love me, okay? But like, I don't want to have that. I feel like I have that characteristic and a little bit, but not 100%, so I'm going to cross it out for me. I'm not going to choose Solomon's wisdom. Only reason why I'm not going to choose Solomon's wisdom is just because, even though I am in the world of academia and I'm nowhere close to Solomon's wisdom, I feel like if I want to try and acquire, and Solomon's wisdom wasn't just earthly wisdom, he had godly wisdom as well, because God told him stuff. But at the same time, yes, godly wisdom would benefit me, but when I'm no longer on earth, I'm going to see God. So yeah, if I already know, like, it's unavoidable that I'm going to see God one day. I don't want to have his wisdom on earth. I don't want to see God on earth. I want to see y'all. I know I'm gonna see him already. So I'll cross out Solomon's wisdom. So I'll choose Buddha's peace. Choose Buddha's peace for sure, because I feel like a lot of things stress me out. Like, yes, I'm happy that I'm in the world of academia, but no, what is my future gonna look like? Okay, that stresses me out. The little things can stress you out. Studying for an exam, that stresses you out. Worrying about the future of the family members that you love because of their age or their health, that definitely stresses you out. I feel like if you have Buddha's peace, you're not necessarily going to stress about that and not concern yourself about that. So yeah, having the ability to have peace, internal peace, and things like that, not have to worry about money, not caring about that, not caring about are you gonna survive or things like that. I mean, that would be a great trait to have. So I feel like Buddha's peace for sure for me. JL said, I think Judas was a great representation of why the love of money is the root of all evil. No, for real. I do, yeah, that is great. That's a great analogy, JL. I do agree with that, JL. That is, yeah, because he sold you out for money. Yes, and you see that all the time. Sometimes you definitely see family members or friends betraying themselves or betraying each other for money or switching up for money. So no, that is, I do agree with that, JL, for sure. Any tips for growing my hair long like yours? Yeah, go to the store, get some extensions, like go $5 for a pack, and just braid it into your hair for sure. Or if you're not like a braid person, you go to the store, get a wig, pop it on your head. Yep. But in all honesty, to grow your natural hair, just make sure you wash it, grease it, oil it, keep it in protective hairstyles, and your hair's gonna grow. Or you get dreads. My mom's hair is longer than mine and it's natural, so you can just get dreads and leave it to grow out. Come to Zanzibar one day. Hey Sadie, how are you doing today, Sadie? JL said, you're welcome. I think we may have different perceptions, but I definitely agree that anything in this flesh for claim, including the Bible, is an idol to most people. Yeah, and we're gonna have different opinions, but yeah, for some reason, I don't know how people don't see that. Because like, and I've always believed this since I was young. Like when my mom told me, because my mom used to read the Bible to me. I haven't read the Bible in its full entirety yet. I'm gonna do it one day. But like, my mom told me a lot of Bible stories when I was growing up. She showed me a lot of Bible movies when I was growing up. So I do know the stories, even though I haven't necessarily read the, I don't know all the stories, but I do know the most prominent ones. I know those stories. So like when my mom told me like because when she was reading the Bible, I distinctly remember when I was younger, she was like, Jesus said you should not create idols. Like, you should not be an idol worshiper. That's how she said it. She's like, Jesus said you should not be an idol worshiper. So ever since I was young, and like I saw people with crosses, and I saw like, I don't necessarily think the Bible is bad, but when I saw people with crosses and I saw people with like the statues of God and they're praying to that, in the back of my head, since I was young, I'm like, isn't that an idol? They're praying to that. So how, and I don't get how like the dominant leaders, the figurehead of these religions don't see that. So it's very interesting. And you know what? It relates to what you said, JL. Like people are going to have different perceptions, and that's okay. It's not hurting me in any way. It's not hurting me in any way. I just say that. I just like to point certain things out because some people who are extremely religious, they tend to like to judge other people, and they tend to like to judge other religions. But at the same time, you got to see your religion too, what you're doing too, and how you're worshiping too. So yeah, I just like to point things out. But like, it's okay if we disagree, if you don't thing. Hey, Giovanna, how are you doing today? Comes to Santa Bar. All right, JL said, I think knowledge is poisonous, like the tree of knowledge. Tree of knowledge of good and evil wars. Do you think knowledge is poisonous? I can understand why you say knowledge is poisonous. I can understand how you can say knowledge is poisonous, like too much knowledge for all people. It's like too much knowledge in a way, like that story that my mom told me when like people spoke the same language, they tried to build a tower to get to God. In a way, that was too much knowledge. People understood each other too much, and I guess that could have been poisonous because they were trying to build a ladder to get to heaven. I mean, they would have wound up in outer space, but yeah. So I can understand that. I agree to disagree with that statement. I do agree to disagree. Mike said, basketball, people love chicken and watermelon. That's racist. That's a form of discrimination and bias. You can't say that. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm okay, because there are white people who like basketball, all right. But I'm assuming since I'm black, and when you said that, you meant that in a form of discrimination. But since there are black basketball players, Mike, I'm not going to put you in timeout right now. However, just know all opinion, people, and ideas are welcome. But racial slurs, well, that's implicitly or explicitly stated, strictly prohibited and not allowed. So, Mike, that was your first warning. In the future, please refrain from typing those statements because, yeah. D-Support said, is money really the root of all evil, or is it the love of money that corrupts us? I think it's the love of money. Because, like, I like money. I want money. I want a lot of money in my life. Why? Because I like traveling. I love traveling. I love buying stuff. I love buying food. I love buying clothes. I love shopping. I love going on airplanes, different boats, trains. I love doing stuff like that. Yeah. I love buying gifts for my mom. I love my mom buying gifts to me. I love buying nail polish. I love buying jewelry. So, as D-Support said, I wouldn't necessarily say money's the root of all evil, because I want money. I want a lot of money in my life. But I feel like it's the love of money and the notion and the mindset that's saying you are going to do whatever you can to get as much money as possible, or just get money. That's the root of all evil. I feel like that's definitely, because what are you telling me? Like, if somebody was to steal $5 from their mom's purse, you couldn't ask your mom. That's evil. I feel like that's definitely the root of evil in a little bit. Or like if you betray your friend because your friend has more money than you, or something like that. I feel like that's a little bit evil there. So yeah, I feel like it's a love for money, and not necessarily the love for money, but the love for money in terms of what would you do to get money is the root of all evil and corrupts us. You can say D-Support. D-Support, the love of money is what causes the issue. Money is a thing that has no power without human giving it. Exactly, JL. That is so true too. Like, what in my public administration class, my professor, they were like, if one day we were to wake up and say this money no longer has value to us, like imagine a world, we wake up, we go outside one day, right? And I go to the store and I try to spend this $20, and the cashier looks at me and they're like, I'm not taking that. I want your ring instead. I'm like, but it's a tray of eggs. Well, if you want the tray of eggs, I'm only accepting jewelry. This is worthless. I have to give them the jewelry to get the tray of eggs. So I do agree, JR. It's like you said, it's not necessarily money, but in this society, in the way it's always been for some reason, it was money. I feel like in society, when we look at history books, the only society that probably didn't value money that much was probably the hunters and gatherers, and that's because they were fighting to survive. Like, I feel like after the hunter and gatherer lifestyle ended, people started to segregate, and people became artists and farmers and things like that, diversify their jobs. That is where money became a thing, and you can see that that's when the records, I feel like, start with wars and all that. So yeah. Okay, what did we say? Hey, how are you doing? Welcome. Ben Mark, glad you could be here. JL said, I like the Bible, but the entirety, no thanks. There's too much of such and such is the son of such and such and such is the son. Okay, so it gets repetitive, is what I'm hearing. Hey Jason, thank you so much for the love. Okay, James asked me, do you like Rhapsody music? What is that? I'm getting that, like, I don't know what Rhapsody music is, James, but I know, like, Nicki Minaj and Iggy Azalea. All around the world, pretty girl. Like, yeah. So I like their rap songs. I like their rap music. It's good. But I don't know what Rhapsody is. If Rhapsody is not like Nicki Minaj, Iggy Azalea, I don't know what you're referring to. D Support said, is it harder to be humble when you have money or when you don't? I think it depends on the person, for sure. And what do you mean when you have money, D Support? Like, are you saying have money, like, what are you asking have money? When you say have money, do you mean rich, like super rich? Or do you mean just, like, having money in general? Because, like, I have money, but, like, I'm not rich. I have, like, a few $100s for my job that I make, and the money that I've saved, which accumulates to something, but it's not enough to pay off my student loan debt. It's not enough to say, hey, I can go on vacation right now. It's not enough to say I don't ever have to work in my life. It's not enough for that. So yeah, when you say have money to support, what do you mean? Like, are you asking? If you're asking, is it hard to be humble when you're rich or when you're not rich? Like super wealthy? I'm not super wealthy, so I don't know. I'll let you know when I get there, but I really think it depends on the person. D Support said, JL, that's a great point. If money itself has no power, does that mean the real danger is in what we're willing to trade for it? You know, that's a great question. JL said, as an example of knowledge being poison, okay, when we're kids, we are free spirits, okay? Not afraid of anything, but adults have learned to be afraid of so much. Yeah, and you know what, JR, I will caveat to say it is knowledge, I do agree, but at the same time, it's because of adults' lived experiences. So take me for an example. My mom was saying I'm an adult, okay? I'm sure you guys, if you know my age, you would say I'm an adult, all right? So, but yeah, I don't really latch on to that. I don't latch on to that at all. Like, people always say act your age. I've never been this age before. How am I supposed to know how to act? But according to society, I'm an adult, all right? So to answer JR's statement, JR said, as an example of knowledge being poison, when we're kids, we are free spirits, not afraid of anything, but adults have learned too much to be afraid of. So you're saying, like, acquiring new knowledge throughout your life is negative because of your age. I agree a little bit. I agree, but I also somewhat disagree. I feel like when you're a kid, you don't have necessarily no stressors. You think, because as a kid, you're given goals that you have to achieve. Like when I was a kid in elementary school, I knew I always had to go to school every day. I had to get good grades, and when summer break came around, it's time to go on vacations. If I got good grades, the effect of me getting good grades would be my mom being proud of me, buying me stuff that I wanted, taking me fun places, things like that, right? But I feel like as you get older, like for me personally, what really makes me bitter with society, and it relates to your question, Jaya, but what makes me really bitter with society, and to say knowledge somewhat being poisonous, and it's not really knowledge's fault, it's more so society's fault, is that society told me that I have to get these degrees, that I have to get a bachelor's degree to be successful, that I should get a master's degree to be ultra successful, right? But why is it when I apply for jobs with these degrees, society's not reciprocating? You're not giving me anything. I got a bachelor's degree. Where's my job with my bachelor's degree? I'm getting a master's degree. Where's my job with my master's degrees? Like, yeah, you're applying, you're getting ghosted. We're the options, all right? So I feel like in that context, JR, it's not knowledge being poisonous. Acquiring new knowledge is great. It's because of me acquiring new knowledge, I feel like I'm comfortable to speak on these topics with y'all. So acquiring new knowledge isn't poisonous. It's society that's poisonous. It's society who is allowing these adults to grow up, and adults are learning to be afraid because adults are doing everything that they have to do, that they've been told to do since they were a kid, but society is not reciprocating. So adults, they are afraid that society is not going to give them the outcome that they need, a job. So they're afraid of being homeless. They're afraid of not living their life how they want to live their life because society is not fulfilling the end of the bargain. So yeah, it's not knowledge, it's society, JR, and corporations and people in power like that. Hey, puppy person, how are you doing today? It's been so long since you've been here, puppy person. Win any dog competitions recently? Glad you could be here. James said she's a female, okay, musician, but her okay, Rhapsody, I'll listen to her. James, I've never heard of her before. Let me write her name down. Rhapsody. Yes, I do remember you, Iris/puppy person. Glad you could be here. JL said, "Do support exactly? Humans do wicked things without thinking about the issue that it can cause just to have it." Kem said, "More money, more problems." Yeah, that is true. More money, more problems, but more money, more opportunities too. So the more opportunities you acquire, obviously the more problems you are going to have because people are not going to like you having more opportunities. So yeah. Hey Steve, how are you doing? You collect gold, very nice. Hey Cosmo, D Support said, "So if people chase money without considering the damage, do you think that's the real issue? That the real issue is a lack of self-awareness or something deeper?" So if people chase money without considering the damage, do you think the real issue is a lack of self-awareness or something deeper? I think it's both. I think it's a lack of self-awareness. And I think it's a lack of self-awareness, and once again, them believing that society is going to reciprocate. So I feel like the most common example that I could think about when people say they're chasing money, I feel like people always say, like, let's say there's a family, or let's say there's a working individual, right, whose goal is to travel the world, right? Or if there's a family who's working, right? Like one person who's working, and they're like, it's a family, and most of the family members are like, let's go on vacation, let's go do this. The person's like, no, I have to go to work, I have to get money. That person is chasing money so they can fund that vacation, but what are you losing? You're losing your age, you're losing your health, you're losing like valuable time that you will spend with your family members. But at the same time, it's a lack of self-awareness that you are losing these things, because like, in a way, you got to remember, as you chase money and as you work, you also age. And as you age, sometimes you lose, like, not sometimes, but as you age, you lose health too a little bit. And you lose time a little bit. So, like, it's a lack of self-awareness because I don't think that clicks in people's head. That, yes, you chase money, you work long, you work hard for this money. But at the same time, you're losing age and you're losing time. So I feel like that's the thing. But at the same time, I feel like people do it so they can, in the back of their head, it's to achieve goals that they want to achieve. Because at the same time, when you have money, you have the money to, I don't know, buy something you want, to travel this place, to do that. Yeah, so I do think it's a little bit of both. So I feel like in modern society, you do have to chase money. Unless, like, you are a Nepo baby, or, like, if you move somewhere where the cost of living is really low and you already had a few thousand, you can make that 1,000 stretch. That's the only way you're not going to work. So, in a way, you do have to chase money because you do got to get a job to survive. But, like, my motto is, when I officially finish with all my schooling and I get my official job, I'm not living to work. I'm working to live. That's what I'm doing. There's some people who live to work. They're working. It's not to say I'm not going to work long hours, but, like, there's people who like live to work, and it's like all they do is work. They save their money. They don't do anything with their money. They're like, oh, I'll do it in 50 years when I retire. I'll do it in 20 years. I'll do it in 10 years. No, that's not me. When I get not my first job, when I enter the working world and the career, I'm working to live. Yeah, I'll do a great job at the job. Hire me. Don't worry. You'll never have to worry about uniquely me and not getting the work done, not excelling at the job. I'll excel at the job. But at the same time, I'm taking my vacation days. I'm taking my money. I'm going and travel. I'm taking my mom places. We're traveling. We're doing this. We're doing that. Because I try to be self-aware and like, yeah, I don't like when people say I'll wait until like I win the lottery to do this, or I'll wait until I'm a certain age to do this, because there's no guarantee that you'll win the lottery. There's no guarantee that you'll still be alive at a certain age, or that you'll have the strength to do this. Do it now when you have the strength and you know you're alive. So live in the moment. Don't live in the future. It's like you're not living in the past. Don't live in the future. I mean, live in the future, but don't live in the future. So yeah, that's how I see it. Puppy Person said, I haven't chatted with you in so long. Yes, Puppy Person. You have been missing from the live stream, and you have deeply been missed, Puppy Person. Glad you could be here. How's everything going? Yes, JL. Yes, D-Support asked some great questions, JL. And you know, JL, I do like when you guys ask questions. So shout out to D-Support and everyone on the live stream asking these questions, because without you guys asking the questions, conversation wouldn't flow. Like Drake said, I can't believe you're still on the live stream. Yes, Drake, we are still on the live stream because you guys are asking some awesome questions. And the more you ask me questions, the more you make me think. And like, I'm spitting out answers for you guys I don't even know I had in my head. And hopefully you guys are learning something from this live stream, or just hearing a different opinion than yourself. And I do hope that you are enjoying it and acquiring new knowledge. So make sure to like the video, do consider subscribing, and join the Uniquely Mia community. I'm a dual degree graduate student studying public administration and criminal justice, and I share what my life is like. All opinion, people, and ideas are welcome. I have fashion videos, travel videos, eat with me, days of my life as a grad student, and so much more. So if you have a question, let me ask. Feel free. Let me know how's your day going. We'll probably stay on for about 20 more minutes, 30 more minutes, see how the conversation flows. Buddha said, bye guys, I hope your logical, healthy conversation can flow. And thank you so much, Buddha, for being on. Always a pleasure when you're on, Buddha. I'll see you in the next live stream or the comment section of my Flowing Nutritional YouTube video or YouTube short. Have a great day, Buddha. JL said, like, say if you're a kid, okay, and you see a bug, kids are not really scared of bugs in the basement, but having adults screaming yeah and jumping around them is seen to gain knowledge and being it. I will say I feel like I've always been afraid of bugs, but I do agree with that statement, JR. I'm sure my mom probably screamed at a bug one time and I got scared of the bugs too. So I do agree with that statement. Hey, Pico Side, haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing today? Excuse me. Drake said that's when they flip it, okay? And say we want experience. No, exactly, Drake. Like, after you go through school, they're like, we want experience. Well, how am I going to gain experience if you don't give me the experience? Like, what? JL said everyone calls me JR. Okay. Everyone calls you JR. I guess J-O, because I'm saying J and Yo because that's your username, so I guess maybe that's why. Hey, how are you doing? Grindelwald, glad you could be here. You look like an ice cream. What? Okay. What flavor? My hair? I don't know. D-Support said, if you never take a break, are you truly productive or just slowly burning out? Slowly burning out for sure. For sure. And nobody works because they want to. Nobody's productive because they want to be productive. It's forced productivity. It's forced productivity. It's not even forced productivity, but it's the threat of what can happen to you if you're not productive. So, yeah. What are you saying? Hey, Tibbs, how are you doing? Most people are not free of mind. The most important research everyone has is time. That is true. Thank you so much for your kind words, Cozman. You said you're definitely not naive, and you said good luck, bro. I feel like you're trying to say that to me as an insult. I get that a lot, not surprising. It's always in the back of my head when somebody calls me naive or native when I start speaking about these stuff that they want to say something like that. Thank you. I don't see that as an insult. You know why? Because I'm able to say all this stuff. Without my brain or my knowledge being contaminated by the organizational values of the workforce or by entering society and conforming to what everybody else does. I'm able to say all this stuff before I even get into a full-time position. And that's great. I love that for me, because when I enter a full-time position, that means I'm going to remember this moment and I'm going to remember the foundational concepts or goals that Uniquely Mia said. And when I enter the workforce, they're not going to overwork me. I'm not going to be somebody who looks back on my life and is like, I wish I did this. I wish I did this. I missed out on this experience. That's not going to be me. So yes, it may sound it may sound naive to you guys and saying all this. Why? Because it sounds like fantasy. Is that why? It doesn't sound like real life. If it doesn't sound like real life, you could make your life how you want it, okay? Yes, it may be hard. Yes, you're gonna have to work for it, but you make your life how you want your life to be. So if it sounds fantasy, what I'm saying, or it doesn't sound like the real world, that's your life, okay? Nothing wrong with that. But thank you for the good luck. Really, really appreciate it. So that's what you got to do, guys. No matter what your age is, no matter what profession you're in, if there's something that you want to do, imagine it, manifest it, work towards those goals to achieve it. Work towards those goals to achieve it, because you can really achieve it. It relates back to the saving challenge. Somebody's like, oh, I want to save $10 a day. Good luck. You're not going to do that. Why? Like that, I feel like that's what I'm seeing a lot sometimes. People are like, I started a saving challenge where I'm saving $10 a day. So this is from yesterday and today. $20 I'm putting in here. So December 31st, 2025. And if you guys want to hop onto the challenge, I'm just throwing that out there. You guys may be saying, uniquely Mia, you want me to save $10 a day? That's a lot of money. I can't do that. Some people can't do it. I understand that. Maybe $1 a day. But like just saving any amount of money a day, I feel like I'm saying that and people are listening sometimes and you're like, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You go outside every day. You're spending what, like $30? You can do that. So even if it's $1, you can do it. So it's the same thing. Trying to save, even if it's $1 every day, it's the same as saying, this is what I want my future life to look like. And yes, it probably won't happen immediately. But I'm sure, yes, it manifests it and it'll come true for sure. So one thing we got to remember, guys, everybody has different lived experiences in their life. Everyone has different goals in their life, all right? So, yeah. D Support said, if money weren't an issue, how often would you take a break? Okay. If money wasn't an issue, how often would I take a break? Okay, I like the breaks that my mom has allowed me to take so far throughout my life. I would just probably add, Okay, my mom takes me, summer break. I got summer break. I would add 2 more breaks to the breaks that my mom takes me on. So not a lot. Like, yeah, one day money won't be an issue for me. One day it won't be an issue for me, but I feel like I'll always engage in some type of work just because I've worked hard for my degrees. So whether that's me working for an organization or me working for myself somehow, I don't know. One day, I'll always engage in some type of productivity or work just because I've worked really hard for these degrees or I'm working really hard for these degrees and I'm going through a lot of pain and suffering to get these degrees for sure. I will definitely always utilize it. But like, if money wasn't an issue, I would take breaks to like exotic locations 3 times a year where you're going on a plane, exotic locations. That's outside of the United States. Okay. For me personally, that's what an exotic location is, outside the United States. But like, yeah. And then weekend breaks are always fun. Like I'm saying, guys, when Uniquely Mia gets a real job, it's gonna be great. It's really gonna be great. Like when I get a real job, like a full-time job where I'm getting paid the value my degrees are worth. Oh my gosh, Uniquely Mom, Uniquely Mia, we're gonna be so happy. Like Uniquely Mommy, Uniquely Mia, when I start getting paid the big bucks, it's gonna be a good life. Like it's gonna be so good, guys. You don't even understand it. You don't even understand. It's going to be a great life when I start making the big bucks and my degrees are going to be utilized for my mom and myself. It's going to be great. And by default, it's going to be great for y'all because we'll be showing you these adventures. But yeah, it's going to be so great, man. It's going to be great. Okay, stop thinking in the future. I have to stop thinking about the future now, but it's going to be great. Okay. Mugyu said, okay, be your own boss or be, what the world? You have the freedom to choose how you spend your time and who benefits from your productive time. Do agree. Drake said, how come you don't miss me when I'm gone? Mia, I always miss you guys. I always miss Drake, Captain Pokemon, Evan, Holly, John Taking the Weather, Fern, Kay, Memphis, Puppy Person, all my supporters. Every single one of y'all, even the ones I didn't name, when you guys are not on the stream, I always miss you guys. But like, I understand that you guys are outside in the real world doing awesome things, furthering yourself. So I mean, I know I'm gonna hopefully see y'all in the future. So I always think about you guys anytime I'm on stream, though. Don't worry. Welcome back, Kat. Did you make it home? I'm just gonna be I'll be live for as long as the conversation flows, Cats, but mostly in maybe another 20-30 minutes probably, as long as the conversation continues to flow. JL said, I've subscribed. Hopefully I'll catch you soon. Have to make something to eat. God bless you. God bless you as well, JL. Pleasure having you on the live stream. Loved your questions, loved your insightful inputs. So have a great rest of your day, JL. And Cats, are you feeling better? Oh, I was calling you JR. I'm so sorry. I did not know I was calling you JR. I thought I was saying JL. Okay, I'll be listening. You just have to cook. All right. Nice. Hopefully you make something that's yummy. Hey, ADAVI. Glad you could be here. Drake said, no, some people love their job. And exactly, Drake. There's nothing wrong with that. If some people love their job, there are generally some people like that. Nothing wrong with that. That is great if you love your job. Hey, Sam. Hey, pretty. How are you doing today? You're pretty as well. You're still waiting for my address, Jeremy? I'll be waiting for a long time. Most likely for infinity. Hey, Blessing. How are you doing today? You're Williams. Welcome. Hey, Anne. Glad you could be here. D-Support said, can you share a moment when you felt especially proud of your work on YouTube? A moment when I felt especially proud of myself on YouTube. I mean, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, for sure. Yeah, when I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I was just totally in shock and proud of that moment, because at that point in time, I was like, oh my gosh, 1,000 people want to be supporters of Uniquely Me, want to subscribe to me, enjoy my content. And most importantly, I was happy about that because 1,000 people hit 1,000 people on YouTube allowed me to get monetized. And with that monetization, all income that I make off of social media goes in its own separate account. And one day when I pay off my student loan debt, you guys will be paying a portion of that off. So yeah, that was definitely a moment on YouTube where I was very proud of myself when I hit 1,000 supporters, because that was a lot of work. Because prior to that, I was on YouTube for like 5 years, was not growing. And now we hit 5,000 supporters because of your support. So thank you so much, guys. It really means a lot that you guys decided to subscribe to the channel and become a Uniquely Me supporter. It's just insane that like you guys enjoy the content and you want to support me and be part of a positive community where you are welcome for your positivity and uniqueness. So thank you so much for your support. Hey, Blessing, how are you doing today? Hey, of the Caribbean, high-minded ideals in a perfect world. We would all generate enough value to work for ourselves. We would, but then we always got to work for somebody. Somebody always got to be in charge, though, because I do agree it would be awesome if we could all work for ourselves, but unfortunately that's not true, because in the way society is set up, somebody needs to work for somebody. Like, it really needs to happen. But no, it's great. Hey, KK, glad you could be here. Hey, Emmanuel. Okay, Drake said they actually believe me. Okay, which one? I lost track of the conversation, but glad you believe whatever I said, Drake. Or what I said previously. I would say, do I live in? I'm from New York. How are you in course of physical education? No, thanks. As you can get a chance to have 7 days stay in India. What? Bro, you feeding T-Rex? What in the world is happening with these comments? Yes, Drake, I did see those congratulations, and I think I did respond to you. If I didn't, I do apologize. I thought I responded. But thank you so much for your congratulations, Drake, on 5K supports. And thank you, Drake, for your support. And thank you, everybody who subscribed to Uniquely Mia, for your support. It really means a lot. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for the giveaway. I'm going to film it this weekend. This week, the items that you can win for the domestic and international giveaway. I'll also film the requirements on how you can enter. So make sure to subscribe. Excuse me. With your post notifications turned on, so you can make sure to watch that full instructional YouTube video and know how to enter. Okay, you're monetized as well, KK. Shout out to you. Congratulations. That's awesome. D Supports asks, is school preparing students for work or just exams? Honestly, I don't know. It could depend on the degree that you get, but like, I don't know. I just feel like I think school gives you knowledge, but like, I really don't think it prepares you for the workforce at all. it's just a barrier in my opinion. Getting degrees, getting college degrees, master's degrees, law degree, maybe law degrees are a little different, PhD maybe a little different, but like I feel like all degrees at its core, medical degrees are important. Get your medical degree, okay? For all the architects out there who's building buildings, for all the doctors, get your degree, please. Okay, get your training. But like for everything else, if you're not a doctor, if you're not an architect, if you're not a farmer, if you're not an engineer, I don't think all other degrees, and even those degrees, it's just a barrier. It's not a barrier. What a wonderful day. Can you hear me? For the rest of your days, a cool mama tata. Okay, glad you guys can hear me again. I'm sorry about that. Technical difficulties, do apologize. But yeah, I think degrees are just a gateway. It's a form of barrier for students, I think degrees are. I think it's a barrier that exists in society, a way to make money and to subject people and isolate them from different careers. I can confidently say that because I was an intern at Metropolitan Transit Authority, MTA, when I was in high school. I was a high school student. I didn't even have my high school to do exact work as paralegals. All right? On-the-job training is a real thing. They train you for everything. So as Drake said, the only thing it's preparing you for is getting up every day and clocking in your degrees. Yup. Some degrees, depending on the degree that you get, you can take a deep dive into the content, but at the same time, just the barrier. Hey, how are you doing, Cherise? Hey, Miller. Glad you could be here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Glad you guys could be back on. Hey, the big, it's my brother, okay, in-law birthday today. I've got a bet with him, okay, that I can get 15 shout outs on YouTube Live. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me, see me, nice. All right, I would graduate with a 4.0 and no experience just because I like 4.0s. And 4.0, even though no experience would hinder me from probably getting a job, I can get into degree programs with that 4.0. You can be exempt sometimes depending on what your GPA is, and 9 times out of 10, especially if that 4.0 is an undergraduate GPA, when you apply to postgraduate programs, they look at your undergrad degree. Even if it's postgrad programs, they look at your undergrad degree. And yeah, so I'll go with the 4.0 because, like, once again, I have a 4.0. Why? And an undergrad student, I had a 4.0 in my major. I graduated with honors, and I had like 3 years of work experience in good positions on campus at my school. Where's my job? So like work experience, like they say sometimes hands-on experience is beneficial, but at the same time, sometimes it doesn't even help you. So yeah, I'll just take the 4.0. At least I could say I had a 4.0 and had honors if nothing else works out. Hey, Cherise. Hey, Laura, how are you doing? Romans 5-8. But God shows his love for us, okay? In that while we were all sinners, Christ died for us. Nice. Hey, Rohan, how are you doing today? Glad you like my hair, Cherise. Nice. Hey, Cats, welcome back. Okay, you can see me. Oh, I was looping a bit. Sorry. I do apologize for that. Internet connection. I am connected to the internet. I promise you, throughout the whole thing of that frozen period and when it was looping, I was connected to the internet at my school. So I don't know. D Support said, what's more helpful, an unpaid internship in something in your field or a paid internship in something unrelated? I'll take the paid internship in something unrelated because I'm going to get paid for it, and I'm fairly confident in that paid internship. Even though it's unrelated, I can pull out skills that will be useful. Okay, so what are you guys saying? My field of study is psychology, professional writing, public administration, and criminal justice. If I were to get a paid internship in finance, I'm taking that paid internship in finance rather than the unpaid internship in a criminal justice department. Why? That paid internship in finance is going to teach me the importance of accountability. It's going to teach me the importance of data collection. It's going to teach me the importance of budgeting, which can definitely relate to public administration and criminal justice. How is it going to relate to professional writing? I have to write up reports, have to do things like that. Internship in finance going to let me know some people, which might help me. So I'll definitely take the paid job in the unrelated field opposed to the unpaid internship in something in my field, because even as a GRA, I can do like academic. My field of study is academic based. I'm in the world of academia with my field study. I have the unpaid experience. I'm paying to get this experience in the world of academia by writing reports and doing all this stuff. So yeah, I don't need that. Hey Raymond, Mia, guess what? Chicken butt. Okay, you're like Norbit. You eat a chicken butt? What are you saying? Or you call me that? What, Raymond? Jeffrey said, you've been on here for hours. Say, yeah, we're ending soon, Jeffrey. We'll end around 6:20, 6:30. So don't worry. But hey, how are you doing? But yeah, this will be the last live stream that I'll do for this week until Friday. I might go live before Friday, just depends on how my week looks. So I tend to do the Monday live stream a little long, just because I know I'll be MIA with the stream since we have a streaming schedule. I stream Monday at 4 p.m. I stream Fridays at 5 p.m. and I stream Saturday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think, or Central. Hey, Pratt, welcome back. Jeffrey said, I hope you get everything you want. Thank you. Same to you, Jeffrey. D Support said, is it better to work part-time in college or focus only on your studies? I think part-time. Yeah, you can work part-time and still do good academically. You have to know yourself as a person, too. I knew myself as a person. I had a lot of different things. I had 2 jobs. No, I had 3 jobs at one point in time simultaneously as a student, and I still ended my semesters with a 4.0. 3 part-time jobs as a student I had as an undergrad student. Only reason why I don't have those 3 jobs anymore is because as a graduate student, I'm limited on the amount of jobs I can have on campus. But if my school didn't limit me, I would still have those 3 jobs. It was very feasible to work for me, but you have to know yourself as a person. Not everyone can work part-time and also focus on their studies. So time management is definitely key. Hey, Pratt, how are you doing? Yeah, you can ask me something. Hey, Raymond. Raymond said, I say, guess what? You say what? I say chicken butt. Okay. Fred said, I want to talk. I am feeling very low. Can you talk? Yeah, sure. You have a question for me? You just want, Jeffrey, I just want you to study. All right, Jeffrey, nice. So you're going to pay me to study? Is that going to be a job you're going to hire me for? What organization is that? Hey Raymond, your hair looks good. Thank you so much. But welcome everybody to the live stream. Uniquely Mia here. Shout out to all the people on the live stream. Shout out to you if you are a returning supporter. If you are a new viewer here, consider liking the video, subscribing, and joining the Uniquely Mia community. On this channel, you are welcome for your positivity and uniqueness. All opinion, people, and ideas, as long as we communicate to each other in a kind, respectful way. I have fashion videos, eat with me, technology videos, days of my life as a grad student, and so much more. So do consider liking the video, subscribing, and joining the Uniquely Mia community. If you have a question for me, feel free to ask it. If you want to start a conversation, feel free to start a conversation. Pratt, they're doing well. Glad you're doing good, Pratt. I'm doing good. D Support. Wait, no. Raymond said, Pratt, how are you doing? D Support asks, have you ever learned more at work than you did in class? For sure. Yup. For sure. Especially, I really loved my position as an accessibility assistant on campus. I mean, I liked my position as a GRA as well. Really did love it. It's a good position to have a GRA. But no, as an accessibility assistant, I just liked accessibility. Like, that job was recommended to me from, like, my professor that I took. So I did really good in her class. She recommended me for a job. So do good in classes because you get recommended for jobs from that. And I feel like I really like that. I really like that job because, it reinforced my learning a little bit because I really did enjoy my public administration classes. It was making documents accessible, writing memo reports, things like that, copy editing, like editing people's work. So my accessibility assistant position, it was like my schoolwork, but it was like my, I was getting paid for it. And as that job, I learned I learned how to make documents accessible. I learned how to make videos accessible, transcripts, things like that. And that was like completely new skill that was reinforced from my classroom. At the same time, I didn't even know about that stuff before I had that job. And I'm big on accessibility. Like, I'm big on diversity and inclusion. So I feel like I do the diversity aspect a little bit, but inclusion is like, you don't really know how to be inclusive sometimes, and particularly some organizations don't know how to be inclusive to people with hearing impairments or visual impairments. So that job as an accessibility assistant, it really did allow me to learn skills on how to make documents and visual reports and videos accessible to people of that demographic. So yeah. But yeah, for sure, I've definitely learned more at work than in the class sometimes. And it really depends on the subject too, because in classes as a criminal justice grad student, I'm learning more in class than I would if I were to do my own independent research. Because you speak to people sometimes, you read articles, they're spreading misinformation about criminal justice. However, in the classroom, you're getting the accurate stuff. So it really does depend on like what subject you are referring to as well. What are we saying? Jeffrey said, you speak so well, you should be a teacher. Thank you. The only way, I mean, I guess I'm a teacher on social media a little bit too. Like if you guys want to see some education videos from Uniquely Mia, go to my YouTube homepage, click playlist and click education. But yeah, the only way I can ever be like an education teacher full time where I'm actually getting a consistent income from it is if I'm ever a college professor, because I refuse to teach K through 12. I'll do it if the opportunity ever presents itself for a little bit, maybe like a few years, not long, but not long. But like if I have a choice, that's not my choice to teach K through 12, just because they're underpaid. They'll teach the underpaid, and their lives are in danger, especially in America. People doing some insane stuff. Like they don't have emotional intelligence, access to many stuff in America. We're not doing a K through 12 teacher at all. And like, I'm not disciplining your kid for you. I feel like college, university, you're choosing to be there if the student doesn't do the work. Okay, it's not my problem. So, yeah, but thank you so much, Jeffrey. Okay. Do you Snapchat? What? Raymond said I should be a teacher as well. Remember, guys, as safety guidelines on the Uniquely Mia channel, do not share. I do not encourage you guys to share your number. I do not encourage you guys to share your email, your home address, your first, middle, or last name. Do not share your age on the live stream. Remember, practice safety guidelines when we are on social media, guys. D Support said, "What's one belief you used to hold that you no longer agree with?" What's one belief that I used to hold I no longer believe what? That I longer believe. People are always going, people can keep promises. I feel like that's one. People are gonna like, and the way I say is like people can say whatever they want to say to you. So I feel like that's one. I feel like when I was younger, when people used to tell me stuff, either make promises to me or say stuff in a tone that was very confident, I always used to believe them. But like, no, actions speak louder than words. Like people can say whatever they want to say. They can say in whatever tone they want to say. How are you really acting? So, and when you stick to that motto, your life becomes like you have like a lot less stress. Because I remember it like I'll use myself as an example. Like when I was younger and like I used to be like misbehaved when I was younger. Younger Uniquely Mia wasn't nice, at least to her mom, which is sad. Younger Uniquely Mia used to be mean to her mom sometimes. So like when I used to make my mom upset, sometimes she used to say certain things to me. But like now my current age, sometimes I'll make my mom upset, and she'll say stuff to me, and I'm like, okay, what's your action? I'll be like, oh snap, I shouldn't have said that. She's gonna be like, she upset at me now. But no, it's true. When you stop putting obviously put value to what people say, but no, don't put as much value to what people say. When you stop valuing what people say to you, and instead you look at their actions, your life will be so much better. It'll be less stressful. You'll be less disappointed in people, and you'll honestly see which people deserve your time and deserve you to have energy on them. Because people can say whatever they want to say to you, but how are they acting actually? It's easy for them to say. When you start lying, you're saying a whole bunch of random stuff. When you're acting behaviorally, that's much different. So yeah, try it, guys. Stop putting weight to what people say and stop putting weight to how people act. What are you saying? Hello, when are you ending? Okay, we'll end around 6:30. When the conversation ends, I'll end the stream. When the conversation ends, we'll end before 7, though, I think. Okay. Hey, Jean, how are you doing today? You're beautiful as well. Hey, Miller, welcome back. I'm from the United States. Lair, where are you from? I'm Jean from the United States. Your name is Big Boss. Okay, nice. Welcome. Okay. Hey, Evan. Yeah, we're still on. Oh, you're done with your sister's marathon. Very nice. Hey, Miller Cat said I'm feeling a bit better. Okay, nice, nice. Glad you're feeling better. And now that you're home, cats, definitely chillax. Okay, sit down, relax. Don't stress. Get something to eat. Because if you felt tired at work, you could have been tired at work, but you said you were feeling sick as well today. So just sit back, relax, and chillax. I just said the same thing twice. I said sit back, relax, and chillax. What? D. Samort said, do you think people can truly change, or do they just reveal who they have always been? I think people, it depends. It depends on the person and what they did, to be honest. Do you think people can truly change, or do they just reveal who they have always been? I mean, I guess sometimes. I don't know. That's a hard question. It depends on what context. Do you think people can truly change, or do they just reveal who they've always been? I think depending on what the person does, they can definitely change, but it's like how much damage has been done. Is somebody willing to accept that change, you can say? But I don't think people change. I think people have just been who they've always been. I don't think people change. It's just sometimes people exemplify behavior that was red flags, and either people saw the red flags and they didn't acknowledge it, or they ignored it. Or if you saw the quote-unquote red flags of behavior that you didn't like, it didn't click to you that wasn't proper behavior. So I don't think people change. It's like sometimes when my mom's upset at me sometimes for something that I say or that I do, she's like, what happened to you? Like, what is this? What is this? You were never like this. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I guess I just wasn't vocal with it, but this is who I am. So, yeah. So I don't think people change. I just think, not to say I don't have red flags. Not to say I don't have red flags in my opinion. Everybody has their own red flags depending on the person you're talking to. But like in that example, I don't think people change. I just think people are themselves, and it's either you acknowledge something, you just see a behavior that you don't like, and when you saw it the first time, you didn't do anything about it or say anything about it, or when you saw the behavior, you just accepted it. So yeah. So, because it's really hard, especially knowing if you know the person for a long time, it's really hard to say you never knew this person was like that. I don't believe that. It's really hard to say that. You knew it, you just didn't care, or you didn't acknowledge it. So yeah. Evan said, if I actually kicked people out of my life, I'd be completely alone. Now, yeah, that is true too. That is true. Hey, how are you doing, Mitchell? Are you a musician? No, I'm not a musician. Hey, Pratt, how are you doing? Hey, James. Hey, Miller. Hey, Roman, what are you saying? Hello, I'm a member of the military of Indonesia National Armed Forces. Do you like it? Mia, do you block the F word? I don't know. I don't remember. Try and type it, Evidency. I don't know. I don't remember. You're from Nigeria? Nice. No, I'm not sending you my WhatsApp number. Hey, welcome from Australia. What are you saying? Hey, no name needed. What's a red flag you think you have that you worked on? The thing about it, red flags are, okay, there are some red flags that's not even very perceptive. The thing about it, I know some people have red flags that are like blatantly red flags. Personally, for me, I don't think I have red flags that are like that people would universally agree are red flags. I feel like people in my family would say I have red flags because I'm not a mean person. Really, in all honesty, guys, I promise you, I am not a mean person. I'm really not. But I'm very vocal. I'm very vocal with my opinions. The same way I'm vocal with my opinions on the stream, I'm vocal with my opinions around my family members. And I'm quick to react. Okay, I'm quick. I don't react behaviorally because we don't want to do that as bad. I'm quick to react verbally to people. So I feel like some people in my family, they would consider that to be a red flag because if somebody got an attitude for no reason, or if somebody says something unhinged, I'm quick to point that out. React verbally with that. So I feel like no name. Some people in my family, they would definitely say that's a red flag, because 9 times out of 10, if I'm gonna quick to react verbally, I'm gonna point out their negative flaws. To be honest, I don't know. I've always been like that, but so yeah. But I don't think I have any. I don't think I have any red flags that are like that are blatantly out there, and it depends who you talk to, because there are some people, my family, guys, if you were to talk to them and ask them who uniquely me is, you would think they would make me seem like the worst person ever in the entire world. All right, but then there are other people my family will talk to, and they're gonna make me seem like how I am and how I present to you guys. So there are some red flags that, like, being extremely disrespectful, being like very mean to people, that are just out there and inconsiderate. Those are red flags that I feel like we all universally agree on. But not everyone has red flags, I don't think, that people universally agree on. I feel like some people, most people, the red flags that they do have, it's very perceptive and subjective based on who you speak to. No name. Hey Matthew, please tell me you are gonna be a judge. You would make a good one. Perhaps one day, Matthew. We will definitely see. Thank you though. Thank you. One day we'll see. Yeah, for sure. D Support said, do you think more people stay in bad relationships out of love or out of fear of being alone? I really can't speak on most people. But I feel like, based on what I've observed in my life sometimes, and my opinions on people's relationships sometimes, I feel like some people stay in bad relationships probably for fear of being alone, not necessarily out of love. I feel like that's mostly it. Personally, for me, if I was ever in a bad relationship, I'm dipping. Like, I don't care about you that much. The only person I care about, my mom, a lot, 100% to stay, whether she likes me or not, is my mom. My mom will always like me. I'm in YouTube. I really like making content on YouTube, but I feel like I can't really speak about that, because I don't know people who's been in bad relationships much. But based on the relationships that I have observed in my life, relationship people are in my life, I feel like people stay in, if it was a bad relationship, they'd probably stay for fear of being alone, I think. Yeah. Which is why you need to be comfortable in being by yourself. Because what? You're staying somewhere because you're alone? Because you have a fear of being alone? I'm alone right now. I'm surviving. I'm alone right now. Sometimes the person's right in front of you, you're still alone. Okay? Yeah. So guys, remember, you should, and I feel like staying in bad relationships in general, whether somebody's staying in a bad relationship, whether that's because of out of love or out of fear of being alone, that is because you are trying to seek happiness and validation from somebody who is not yourself. No. Find happiness internally first. You need to be comfortable by yourself. You need to find happiness by yourself first. And then you can go and try to find happiness with other people. All right? I really, that is my biggest pet peeve. That is my biggest pet peeve. When people are doing stuff and they're asking people, what do you think about this? Should we do this? Should we do that? That's essentially telling me you can't take the executive decision and decide for yourself and make a decision for yourself. You're asking this person to do this, to that. Should they do this? Should you do this? Should you do that? Because that means you're trying to seek happiness from this one other person. I hate that so much when people do that around me. Because I'm like, God allowed you to exist. God gave you a brain. Use your brain. Use your funds. Do what you want to do. All right? Yes, do stuff with whoever makes you happy, but like at the same time, you need to be independent. You really do. Raymond said, did you work out this morning? No, I go to the gym on like 2 days a week, Raymond, and that's towards the end of the week. So I'm trying to see. Am I healed up? Oh, okay. I'm healing a little bit. This hurts a little bit still. And if I just do a push-up, I feel like right here would definitely hurt. But I went to the gym yesterday, Raymond, so if you want to see that live stream, just rewind it. Check out the live stream from yesterday. Mood said, you don't have to be a mean person to have a bunch of red flags. That is true too. The nicest person can definitely have a red flags. That is true too. What does vocal mean? Vocal means just speaking up. like speaking up for yourself, advocating for yourself, or like if you see something bad happening to a family member, if you see somebody say something, or if you see a family member or friend say something and nobody, that's not good, and somebody's and like people are not doing anything about it or saying anything about it, being vocal means that I'm taking the initiative to talk up and say, hey, this isn't right. You should help. You should do this. That's not right. You can't say that. That's what being vocal is. Shout out to my mom for raising me like that. And the thing about my mom, my parents raised me to be vocal. They raised me to be like this. And sometimes that's what's not like sometimes, depending on the context in which I am vocal, which is really funny. But yeah. Kat said, my red flag is that I get tired of people quickly. Nah, yeah, for real. LOL. It doesn't take much to give me the ick and you're ghosted from... No. That is not a red flag in my book, Cats. You know what? You're looking at this person, you're like, ooh, you did this one thing? Okay, I'm out of here. And you know what? That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Because I feel like people who end up in bad relationships, they saw that one thing that gave them the ick or that red flag, but they thought, oh no, it's going to go away. And then next, you know, you're married and you're stuck in this long-term relationship with a whole bunch of kids and, like, it's a whole bunch of drama. Like, no, that's what you need to do, Cats, all right? So shout out to you. That is not a red flag uniquely in this book at all. Hey, Han, how are you doing? Kat said, my red flag is that I'm too comfortable being alone. Yeah, okay. Jason said this video is making you racist again. Okay, Jason. Well, racists are not welcome on the Uniquely Mia channel. So, yeah, nice knowing you know. Check my positive, check my energy, negative or positive. Do you want to be positive? Since you are on the Uniquely Mia channel, I'm assuming you want to be positive, so sending you the positive energy. Hey, Frankie, how are you doing? Hey, Vindon, glad you could be here. Okay, speak slowly. Will do. Sorry about that. D Support said, being alone is being alone truly worse than being with the wrong person? What? Is being alone truly worse than being with the wrong person? If you know it's the wrong person, why are you with that person? You're telling me you're wasting time and you're subjecting yourself to a lot of unnecessary stress, right? Because you're scared of being alone? What? Be alone. If you're with the wrong person, that person is stressing you out. Stress can kill people. Stress kills people. Stress makes people not happy. See, so D Support, your question essentially is being alone truly worse than killing yourself if you're with the wrong person? I'd rather be alone than slowly kill myself if I'm with the wrong person. So be alone. Guys, as morbid as it'll sound, technically you die alone. All right? Isn't the saying you're born alone, you die alone? I don't know why people say you're born alone because your mom is there, but you die alone unless you're like in a terrible natural disaster, as morbid as that'll sound. Okay? That is inevitable. Okay? Unfortunately, all of us are not going to be here in 100 years. All right? That is the actual reality. I was on TikTok, and TikTok made me morbid. Somebody was like, in the year like 2070 or 2080, based on my age, I'll be like this super duper age. And I got so sad because I didn't see my mom's. I was like, what about my mom? I was like, oh my God. I had to log off of TikTok for that day because I'm like, this person just showed me this age in this year. And I'm like, oh my God, my mom's birth year is not on the screen. I got so sad. I had to log off. So, I got scared too. Oh my God. So, it's like you're born, it's like you die alone. So like, get used to being alone, all right? Get used to being alone. Don't subject yourself to being with the wrong person, all right? And like, what is the value placed on romantic relationships? What is that? That's the problem. Because you're not alone. You're just living in your house alone. You can have friends. I don't know. If you're a parent, you have kids. Even if you're alone and you want to have kids, you have kids. Go to the doctor, okay? You can have kids without a male, all right? A male, you can have kids without a female, all right? So that's the problem with society. People place so much weight for some reason on being in a relationship. So that's why bad relationships emerge, because people feel pressured from society, or society or family members try to make people feel bad because they're quote unquote not in a romantic relationship. So people settle for bad relationships or being with the wrong person, and thus you're in a negative, stressful situation. No, be alone, okay? And that relates to doing things slowly by yourself. Like being alone sucks. It really does. Okay? Being alone sucks. I'm in my room, I'm by myself. Okay, when I come off a stream with y'all, yeah, I'm going to sleep because it's going to be nighttime. But, like, when I come off a stream with y'all, guys, if I don't have a meeting, if I'm not meeting with, like, one of my acquaintances, I'm not going outside. If I don't have to go to class, if I don't have to go to work, I'm staying in my room, really. All right? That's the more of the story. So being alone, it really does suck sometimes. It's boring. All right? Why do you think I love when I'm home? I'm with my mom. And even when I'm with my mom sometimes, I go in my room by myself because I get overstimulated with everything that's going on. So I need to be alone sometimes. But, like, it's okay to be alone. Yes, it's going to suck, but make friends or just hang around family members that you like, because there are other things that can make you happy rather than being in a bad situation. All right? Kat said, it's the lack of information in your brain that's making you racist, Jason. How's it going, Cats? Oh my gosh. Hey, Raymond. Hey, Brian. Hey, Linda. How are you doing, Linda? It's been so long since you've been here. Glad you could be here. Linda said, good evening to you as well, Linda. Thank you. Glad you like my hair. Okay, you agree with me. You agree with you, great, and wisdom. We love you. Thank you so much for the love. Sending it back to you, Linda. Blessings to you as well. Really appreciate you, Linda. Hey, Brian. D Support said, how do you know when you're staying with someone just because you're afraid to be alone? I feel like you know you're staying with somebody just because you're afraid to be alone, because that person doesn't make you happy. Like, obviously, people aren't going to make you happy 100%. I don't make my mom happy 100%. She's my mom, and she doesn't make me happy 100%. But, my mom and I can say that, like, my mom makes me happy, right? So, she's my mom. And you guys are, why are you using mom as an example? Not everybody has a positive relationship with their mom, okay? I'm privileged. I'm blessed to have a positive relationship with my mom, all right? So I'm using my mom as an example of a healthy relationship, all right? So, I have a positive relationship with my mom, right? Yes, we disagree with each other, but I feel like we are happy in each other's presence more often than we disagree. You know you're in a bad relationship with somebody if you disagree more than you are happy with them, or if they stress you out more than you are happy. If you have more stressful moments with that person, if you have more unhappy moments with that person, you're in a bad relationship. And I don't care. I don't care if that person's doing grand gestures for you. Okay? I don't care if that person's doing grand gestures for you 2 times out of the year, 3 times out of the year, if they're supporting you. Okay? I don't care. But if you have more stressful moments with that person, if you can speak to yourself and you can say, oh, if I become wealthy, I'm dipping. If I become wealthy, I'm out of here with that person, you know you're in a bad relationship. Because what? What do you mean when you become wealthy? You're leaving that person. You're not in a good relationship then. You're not. What do you mean that person stresses you out more than they make you happy? But you're staying because you're scared to be alone, but they support you a lot, or they do grand gestures for you 3-4 times out of the year. That's a bad relationship. So yeah, that's how I define it. Hey, Brian. Okay, guys, let's read fast. Let's see if we can finish before 7. Hey, Russell. Kat said, being alone doesn't suck to me. That's when I am Julia. Peace. Nice. Hey, what's your name? Rutger. Glad you could be here. Blessings to you as well. Russell, good night, Russell. Pleasure having you on. Kat said, I think you know you're staying with someone because you're scared to be alone when you're thinking more about other people, what other people will say about your relationship than being free. And Risham, that is great, Cats. I do agree. That's another way to look at it too. There are definitely some people who derive status from society and society's expectations. Like, shout out to my parents, really, shout out to my mom, shout out to my parents for raising me the way they did, because it starts early on in the household. If my parents did not raise me the way that they raised me, guys, there's nothing wrong with conforming to society. There's nothing wrong with that. But, like, I would conform to society a lot. And not to say I don't conform to society, because I do, but, like, I would conform to society a lot more than I do now. That would really put me in not positive experiences, probably. And they're not saying I would do anything bad, but, like, I'm just saying in general. Like, it would just make you conform, and like Kat said, I would be concerned about what society would think about me a lot more and that could lead you to being in negative situations or unhappy environments. So more of the story is, guys, if you are a grown adult, or if you have children, or you plan to have children in the future, make sure to teach those kids, or teach yourself if you're an adult, don't care about what people think about you. You don't need to care about random people thinking about you on the street. You don't need to care about what society thinks about you. If there's just one person or two people in your life who you want to make proud of, as long as you're making those two people proud, forget about the rest of the world. That's my mom for me. As long as I'm making my mom proud and happy for me, about me, people could call me the most meanest names. They could call me the villain in their story. I don't care. Because even the villain is always making somebody happy. Now, shout out to you guys as my supporters. I appreciate your support. I really do appreciate your support. Think positive of me. I'm prone to positivity to you. But, like, my mom, she raised me, okay? She knows me. So, like, that's why I use my mom as an example, right? So the world could think negative about Uniquely Mia. They can say whatever they want to say about Uniquely Mia. As long as my mom always thinks I'm positive and I'm making my mom happy, forget about society. Forget about everybody else. And if you're an adult, you need to find that person. If that person is you, you be you. Make yourself happy. Now, don't commit crimes. Don't go out there committing crimes, because don't commit a crime like Uniquely Mia told me to do something that makes me happy and I really wanted to commit a crime. You on your own. Why are you committing a crime? Don't do that now. As long as it's legal, all right, and ethical, you're good. So, and teach your kids that too. Teach your kids not to conform to society, to be independent, to be strong-willed, and to be vocal, all right? Because when you're vocal and you're strong-willed, you are able to point out negative things. You're able to point out red flags and a lot of other stuff. All right. Kat said, if you say I want to leave the relationship, but then rethink the but. LOL, exactly. Hey, Raham. D-Support said you answered all my questions. Thanks to you, Friday. My pleasure. My pleasure, D-Support. Shout out to you again, D-Support, for always asking the great questions. Shout out to Cats and Pokemon, Brian, Drake, J Yo was on, James, Jonte, Fern, Halls, Lil, everyone, Puppy Person, everyone who's on the live stream. Really appreciate y'all. Hey, Sir Adam. Sir Adam said, thanks for being you, Mia. Have a great day. Thank you so much as for your kind words, Sir Adam. And thank you, Sir Adam, and everyone else on the live stream today for being you guys and being part of the Uniquely Mia community. You decided to spend time with me on the live stream today. You are never ever getting back that time, okay? It's gone. No matter how much we want it, we're not getting that time back, unfortunately, which time is very scary. It really is. So yeah, stay positive, guys. Hopefully you enjoy this live stream. Hopefully you guys enjoy something aside from the stream. Hopefully I encourage you guys to try something new, learn a new skill. We were speaking about a lot. Hopefully I encouraged you some way. Hopefully I was able to bestow some positivity on y'all, or teach something to y'all. And I'll see you guys on Friday at 5 p.m. New York time. I think that's Eastern Standard Time. I might live stream prior to Friday, but no guarantee. So if you miss more of Uniquely Mia, go watch my Full Nutritional YouTube video or YouTube Shorts. Tomorrow I have a video releasing for y'all. I did like a job interview the other day. So my mom gave me an idea of like answering some of the job interview questions in a video for y'all. So I did do that. So I would love if you guys could watch that video. And if like you guys have gone through the interview process for a job, if you're a job recruiter, or anything like that, feel free to watch that Full Nutritional YouTube video that's going to be released tomorrow, and let me know what I should improve on, because in the future I'll be going through a lot of interviews, so I can use all the feedback I can. So be on the lookout for that video. Shout out to you, Evan, for being here. Really appreciate y'all. Evan said, Cats, everyone I know is worried about what people think instead of what they want when relationships. Okay. Clurd. Okay. Really appreciate you guys for being here. Sending hearts to all the subscribers. Really appreciate you guys. Sending stars to all the people watching the live stream that hasn't hit that subscribe button. If you want this star to turn into a heart, you gotta hit the subscribe button. And remember, I'm Uniquely Mia, also known as Mia. I show you what my life is like. All opinion, people, and ideas are welcome, as long as we communicate to each other in a kind, respectful way. So stay positive. Hey, Tim. And as Queen Mother, Uniquely Mom always says, don't let anybody rob you of your joy. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.